I'm undisputed.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rilo, and welcome back to Risk of Rain. Today we are going to be playing with a very strong and very powerful Sett. So Sett is also a character from League of Legends. A very interesting, very strong character, very big brute. So yeah, it's going to be very tanky, focus on tank items, a tank build, and really trying to pull the enemies closer to you due to how his abilities work. So, very strong character, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. He has a lot of show in his abilities. That's kind of what Sett is a very egotistical character. So his abilities is all about show and all about showing off his strength. So, like you can see there, he basically does a jump and a slam to kill the enemy with his shift ability. So with Sett, his main attack is just a normal punch. Very basic. His alternate attack is basically pulling the enemies closer to you, and if there are more than one enemy in your surrounding area, you are able to then stun them. So if I take these enemies and I pull them together, if they do not die in the process, they basically get stunned, which is really good, especially if you are fighting some of the larger groups of enemies. Then his shift ability is basically the slam that you saw earlier, where we basically pick up an enemy and slam them to the ground. And then your ultimate ability is where you gain a massive shield, and then you punch this wave in front of you, which basically does a lot of damage based on how much grit you have, which is the passive. You can see it below your health bar. So yeah, basically a very strong kind of kit, and the ultimate ability is basically based off your health. So the more health you have, the more damage it will do. And also we have another ability or another part of the kit from Sett, which is very cool, is that you have some passive healing as well. So the lower your health is, the more passive healing you have. And then we also have a rune item from the game itself, which basically increases my damage a little bit. And when we get to 12 stacks, you can see that on the left just above the level. When we get it to 12 stacks, we are then able to heal from the damage that we do. I think it's about 6% of the damage we do is then converted into healing. So very cool, very strong character. And I think it's going to be a very cool and very enjoyable video. With that said, we again are going to try and focus on more of a melee build, like I said before. You want to try and get there's a crystal that gives you some damage to how close you are to the enemy. And then you also have a focus on attack speed, and then definitely a lot of health and armor, because that's kind of what Sett is going to be about. We need to be close to the enemy to be able to do our thing. So we need to focus on those items accordingly. These guys. The only problem is with Sett is to try and get the height of these enemies, so we can get up to there, but we don't really have the range to pull them closer to us. So we'll need to use our little special ability to get to them. So how you want to play Sett is you want to just jump around, try not to take too much damage, stack up your, I think it's called Conqueror, that's the runic ability. So if we can get that stacked up, we shouldn't have a real problem with healing whatsoever. So with Sett, I think we are strong enough to take on this Holocron sign quite early in the game. And this will allow us to, you see, with these, they are not really a problem for us. We can just pull them together. And with these other guys, we can just jump to them and then just smack them to the ground, which which is very fun in itself. So we are very strong. I think we are a lot stronger than Jinx for the Armageddon difficulty that we're all playing on. And if we do see enemies trying to attack us, what we can do is you can use your special ability as some form of a quick defense. So it also helps us a lot to make sure that we stay healthy, don't lose too much health. You can see we are quite strong. These guys should attack us, but then we can just use our special ability and then do a ton of damage. We'll see once this thing spawns, we don't really have to be afraid of them getting too close to us. We can basically just attack them on the spot. We don't really have a risk of them killing us whatsoever, because we have the Conqueror that will heal us, and then obviously the passive healing, and then just our damage overall, it's quite high. So you'll see with these guys, we can basically just jump to the guy, pull them together, use our special ability, and we'll hit very hard. So nothing for us to really worry about. Pull them together, just keep attacking them. Very low though, so we'll use our ultimate ability. Kind of need to get rid of those guys that are flying, as they are proving to be quite a menace. There we go. Easy as that. Was a bit risky there at a point. I did think I might lose it. So we'll get some defenses. We did get a red item, which is fantastic. Let's try and get that guy. Yeah, there we go. So for the red item, let me just kill off these guys before I decide on what I want to take. Because of Sett being a guy that will do attack damage, we do maybe want to look at the Brilliant Behemoth as well. I believe there's also an item that will give us a shield based on the healing that we do. So that might also be a very useful one, which I think we might need to take. Just can't remember exactly which one it is. I think it's this guy. So we'll take that guy now. Just clean up the area here. So I'm going to clean up these guys and then we'll decide on the red item that we need to take. So I've picked up the item called Aegis, and this basically will do a percentage of my overheal. We'll basically change that into a shield. So for Sett, that's incredible because we have the Conqueror ability, or the passive. It'll basically allow us to gain a shield indefinitely. So if we are in a fight and there's a lot of enemies that we need to take care of, we won't really have the risk of dying too quickly because of the shielding that it generates. So after that, if we get another red item, we might want to look at maybe getting your Ceremonial Daggers or the Brilliant Behemoth, which I'm leaning more towards the Brilliant Behemoth just because of our on-hit attacks. I kind of want to build to that. I don't want to build all of these area of effect kind of abilities. The on-hit is kind of what we want to go to. So the Focus Crystal will be the next item that we'll get, and that basically allows us to do more damage for enemies that are in close range to us. And that's going to be perfect for us to do. I've also picked up 2 Shrine of the Mountain. So Shrine of the Mountain will basically increase the spawn points that we have available for the teleporter event. And 2 of them is incredible, so I'm not going to complain about that. Yeah, you see, with our current healing, we are doing loads and loads of damage. I'm very, very happy about that. Let's pull these guys together, get rid of these ones, and then we can probably take on the teleporter event. Let's try and pull that last guy close to us. We should be able to. Yeah, there we go. I think actually a good one to get might be even to get your magazine to have multiple of these pull abilities. Get rid of these guys. Select our last few items. I think we're going to take the bands because they're going to scale really, really well with my other abilities due to the amount of damage that it does. And then I need to get some health and more defensive items. But yeah, let's take on the teleporter, and this should be a fun one. It's overloading Stone Titans, damn. It's gonna be a tough one, but I think one of them should already be dead. If we do get more damage done to us, we should be able to quite easily pull them together and then just whack them with our movement ability. We're not invincible though, but we are extremely, extremely strong. Just picking up a boss enemy like that, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, this guy doesn't stand a chance against us, and we have our overheal ready. We're in a very good position at the moment. There we go. I mean, not too bad at all. Let's just block these guys and whack them dead with one shot. Couldn't really reach them. Oh, awesome! We got 2 of the. Oh, I just destroyed these guys. I can't think with so many guys around me. We got 2 boss items. That is incredible. Couldn't really have asked for a better start to this. Get rid of these guys, and the last guy is also down. Awesomeness. So now for the boss items, this might be a little bit of a difficult one. So I think for this we would possibly need to, let's take this guy. That's going to be basically, it's what one of the enemies do. Just the nearby enemies will basically leech off of them, which I think is pretty damn strong, especially for the overheal that we currently have. And then we'll take the electrocute. I don't really know what the full name of it is. Charged Perforator. There we go. So it will basically just allow us to shock the enemies once we attack them. Or do damage to them, yeah. So we are very, very strong at this stage. We're going to stage 2. Stage 2, I think it might be quite a decent jump in difficulty, so I don't mind. I would actually like that. And then we kind of need to start looking at some damage items. We do have a few defensive ones. I don't think it's nearly enough though. I do think there's definitely a need for more. You can never have enough with Risk of Rain. I mean, it's an incredibly difficult game, especially with these mods that we have. Let's just fight off these few guys and I'm gonna get a few items. And search for some interesting shrines that we can collect. Let's put all of these guys together. Yeah, that's awesome. Ooh, I mean, our overheal is doing what it needs to do. And the health that we're stealing from these guys, they definitely they are helping us out a ton. Ensures that our shield is up indefinitely. There you go. I mean, so any overheal, it's incredible. And then we can also get Topaz, which will give us another shield. There, my grit was full, so we did an incredible amount of damage with our main ultimate ability. But yeah, we're gonna search for a few nice shrines, get a few nice items, and then we'll head to the teleport event to take on stage 3. Alright, so we have gathered quite a few decent items, and we have dropped a new red item, which is wonderful. And with this red item we are going to pick up the Brilliant Behemoth. Now this will make my attacks explode. So it's it's an incredibly strong item for Sett. So all of our attacks will now explode on hit, and going to be much needed, especially for the late stages. But I think we are ready. I think we should be able to take on the teleporter event. We did pick up a few defensive items for us to just increase our survivability. And we also picked up a magazine. I think we can probably pick up a secondary magazine as well. So this allows us to have multiple of our pull users. I don't know what the ability name is specifically, but it allows us to pull the enemies closer to us multiple times. And that is exactly what we want with Sett. So due to the ability damage that Sett can do to close up enemies, that is precisely what we need. With that, we have also picked up some chrono bubbles, and I think we are ready. We should be able to pick up the other items once we get there, but we will start the teleporter event so long and see what we get. Oh, we got the Wandering Vagrants. Gonna be somewhat of a tough enemy, but we'll just pull them together closer to us. Can't really see what's happening though, but I think it's visible enough to kind of see that we are defeating them quite easily. Pull all of these guys together and just continue fighting off the rest that's left. So yeah, we don't need to be afraid with Sett. You shouldn't be too afraid to kind of do your thing, because as soon as you start to hesitate, you will die, because you need to be in the fight to really use the full potential of his kit. But yeah, man, it's so satisfying to just pick up an enemy and slam them into the ground as hard as you can. I don't know if it actually does more damage the higher you pick them up. It might be, but I'm not too sure. Just put all of these guys together, kill them all at once. Oh, this is incredible. I really, really love this. We have now moved on to stage 3, and the difficulty is already on level 44. And we can see that we have a few corrupted enemies there. And this is where I think some of the bigger risks with Sett will start to come in. We will need to find a way to defeat those enemies before they actually kill us. The reason why I'm saying that is that those guys have the ability to instantly kill us with their detonations. So it might not be as easy for us to really take care of them. So we'll need to somehow build up some grit and kill them in a different way, because it's gonna be extremely difficult for us to do it in any other way. So yeah, we'll definitely find a way. But for now, I think we can move a little bit closer to them. We shouldn't be afraid to really take them on. So let's just slam dunk these guys, pull them in. Just need to be incredibly careful. Just don't want to let them instantly kill us. So those explosions there, that's going to be our thing to really take note of. I don't know how we're going to deal with it, but we will have to find a way to do so. Otherwise it's not going to be fun at all. And we can't just stack Dio, because Dio is usually the one that we will need to take for the legendary items to prevent them from killing us, or that we just respawn. So I think I will be taking Dio for this. It's just that I don't want to risk it. Unfortunately, if we do take that risk, especially now, we do need to be very cognizant and careful about it. And because of the corrupted enemies having a lot of weird kind of abilities and effects that they can do to us, we definitely need to have some survivability, or just a cheat code to not die, essentially. So your Dio will basically resurrect you, but your tougher times will not prevent them from insta-killing you. I have tried it before, still had the same result. So yeah, no harm in taking it. But other than that, I think we are extremely strong, very good and healthy situation. Don't really have a risk of any of these other guys killing us. So with the normal white items, I'm currently stacking critical damage. Critical damage will allow us to make full use of the Harvester Scythe, which will then help us get some more shielding with the overheal that we are doing. And the Harvester Scythe is just, again, healing items with the Armageddon difficulty. It cannot be understated how important that is. So I'm trying to really focus on that. And let's see, maybe I can get a very cool corrupted item that will help us survive a bit more. Or maybe just, I think damage will definitely be a limiting factor for us in a little bit, because we aren't really doing a lot of damage from the get-go. But we'll figure it out as we go along. So let's see, I need to find that one last corrupted enemy, or enemies. So, okay, there's one, I don't know, this guy isn't corrupted, so it's not gonna be of much help. You don't necessarily need to have a corrupted item to really be strong, but they do have quite a lot of very decent effects that you can make use of. Right, so the teleporter event is within another corrupted section. Gonna be fun times to try and make do there. But let's see. Like I said, again, we do have Dio, so we can be a little bit more, take a little bit more risk with this, but shouldn't take too much. We'll jump to here. We'll pull these guys together, and then we need to kind of use our ultimate ability to kill them and just run away, just so that they don't kill us instantly. Especially those that will also kill us. And you can't really see it that well, so yeah, we'll take on the teleporter event. I think we are in good standing with it. There we go. Pretty damn easy. Awesome. So I have enough sustain, I think, for now. So I think the other things that we can now focus on will be our damaging items. I mean, our damage isn't bad either. But as soon as we get to the high levels, the damage will definitely be a very lacking aspect of us. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached stage 4. And yeah, this seems to be a very significant increase in difficulty. There's a lot of boss enemies that are now fighting for our attention, and enemies that can basically insta-kill us, so we need to be very careful on our decisions and what we do and what we make of it. As you can see here, it's quite tough. They hit hard, but so do we. So I don't think we need to worry about a single thing. It might be a little bit confusing as to what's happening with all of the stuff flying around, but I don't think we really need to stress too much about being at risk of not surviving this. Our healing is a lot, we have a lot of shielding, so now I think we are in a very good position to take on Mithrix. Definitely gonna slam dunk Mithrix when we see him. Let's just pick up all of these items. So I'm basically looping the items that I currently have. A lot of them, like all of them, are focused on my attacks. I haven't chosen items that will do explosion or area of effect damage. So we are all set to, pun intended, but we're all set to have basically an indestructible build. We have a lot of shielding. We're still building defenses as you go along, and building tougher times until we will practically have so much resistances that we block everything. You can already see that, yeah, the amount of damage and the risk that we have currently is very low. It does, however, increase when we don't have any shield up or anything, which shouldn't be a lot of the time. So, I mean, if we pull all of these guys together, we already have a full shield, and the shield will also basically scale on the amount of health that we had. So since we are also building quite a few health items, that would not be a problem for us one bit. So what I'm searching for on stage 5, it's a chest, and this chest will give us a few legendary items. So as soon as we can find it, we just need to wait for one of the green items that will also help us to ensure that we can get more of the legendary items. It's called a sacrificial star or something. And this will then allow us to, instead of getting one red item, we can get as many of them as the sacrificial stars that we have at hand. So we're going to run around, see if we can find the chest. I think the items that we get now, they are just a bonus. We are so strong already, so we don't really need to focus too much on that. But as soon as we get a shrine or anything, we are going to take it on. Cool, so I have gotten a few of the sail stars. I think I said it was a sacrificial star, but it's a sail star. And I found a chest right here in this corner. So this will allow us to get 3 additional red items. So we'll see what we get. There we go. So I think we got the leaf clover, and then we got another dio. And the reason for the other dio is just because of the fact that I'm very scared of the corrupted enemies and the kind of way that Sett needs to be close up to actually do something to these enemies. So yeah, I think having 2 dios just as that backup is really important and really helpful for us. Yo, that's some crazy stuff. I can barely see what's happening. But I think we are now in a very good situation to take on the teleporter event. We have a lot of items. Let's get rid of these guys over here. Yeah, there we go. And pick up these items. Nice. Alrighto, let's take on the teleport event. Man, that is incredibly strong. There we go. Stage 4's done. So just killing off the last few enemies. I did get a item that allows us to charge up the teleporter event a little bit quicker, because I know the teleporter event can take very long to finish its charge. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty quick. So we'll move over to stage 6. And we have reached stage 5. Now stage 5 is where you can make a decision to either continue with another loop, or you can face Mithrix. Now, with the strength that I currently have, I think we are going to decide to do a secondary loop and then face Mithrix, so this will just make him more difficult to take on. But this will also give us a bunch of options to just become stronger and stronger. And that's kind of what we want to do. That's what we want to do with Sett, is just to become as strong as possible. So this is where the difficulty really increases, and we can already see with the craziness that's happening. Right, so I think we have quite a decent amount of items now, and we should be able to take on the teleporter event. Gonna be quite a tough one. These guys haven't shown me a lot of mercy thus far. But I think we have the strength and the capability to take on this teleporter with ease. Let's pick up these last few items. Just wait for the storm to clear. It's part of the Starstorm 2 mod, so yeah, I don't want to really fight them within the storm. That just makes them stronger. Alright, let's start the teleporter event. That was that was intense. At least the teleporter event is down. It was pretty epic though, I must say myself. Kind of one of the coolest boss fighters that I've seen in a while. But yeah, so the teleporter should charge quite quickly. I can probably go to the Newt's altar and make it charge even quicker. But I think the one item that I have does make that kind of nullified, so I don't really think we need to do that. So we're going to head through another loop. We're going to do a few stages and hopefully get to Mithrix on the secondary run. We need to get to stage 10 and then we can take on Mithrix. But then I think we should be quite strong enough. I'm just constantly picking up items, just growing, getting stronger as we go along. So yeah, let's head on to the last few stages. Gonna try and push for them, try to rush to them a bit quicker than usual. Unless I see some shrine or something that we can take on. That shrine might be a little bit useful, but I don't think it's going to be that useful for us in this round. But now, because of the second run, we are getting Malachite enemies. And they are enemies that basically get rid of any form of healing. So we need to be very cognizant about that. Because we are kind of based on healing as well to build our shields and stuff. So if we don't have healing, we are in a bit of a very bad predicament. But I think overall with our ultimate ability, don't really think we need healing that much. So I think we are good with that. So we are currently on stage 8, and stage 8 is quite crazy. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff happening. But we are so damn strong. I didn't expect us to be this strong though. But we are extremely, extremely strong, and it's quite easy for us to take on these enemies. I mean, yeah, that wasn't really a challenge for us one bit. Yeah, like it's incredible how strong Sett is. I think we're almost stronger than Aurelian Soul. Guess not as strong as him, because Aurelian Soul can infinitely stack, where Sett can't really do that. But yeah, I mean, still not something to slouch about. It's still like exceptionally strong. And I mean, this is really not an easy difficulty. It's the most difficulty that you can get within Risk of Rain. So yeah, it's definitely not something that you need to take on too lightly. But we are going to go to stage 9, and then from stage 9 we'll head over to stage 10, which will then give us the ability to then take on Mithrix. And I think for Mithrix, it is going to be a bit of a difficult one, because we need to go and charge up all of those different shrines. Because we can't just fly to the top, so it might take a little bit longer, but should be a very cool and fun experience for us. Just a bit tedious though, but I mean, it's kind of what you have to do to complete the game, eh? So on stage 9, we do have quite a lot of those sales stars, so you're going to get a lot of our red items, which is going to make us even more powerful. And then get all of the needed Dio's best friend items that we do need so that we don't die too quickly. But I'm not going to stay on this stage for too long. As soon as we get those items, we are going to move on to the next stage. Damn, there's so many enemies spawning. Let's go ahead and spawn all of the red items and we'll pick them up. It's going to be quite a significant amount. And some of them are doubling my healing. So I have 2 of them that doubles my healing, so yeah, it's gonna be incredibly difficult for them to kill me. But it's kind of what I want. Because that scales in off of my shields that I get, and then also the shields that I get, and then just healing in general. It's incredible. There you go. The teleporter event is already done. I basically one-shotted all of them. That was incredible. So I just need to charge it up and then we are heading to... Oh, my items are getting stolen by some of these guys. And then we're going to take on Mithrix, which... I think Mithrix is going to be very difficult, especially when he gets to the form where you basically get your items stolen. But I think if we do catch him quite quickly, we should be able to nullify that situation, but we'll see. If we can nullify it, I think that would be ideal for me, because I don't want them to steal my items at all, because the items kind of make me as strong as I am. Without them, I don't really have anything. Unlike with Aurelian Soul, you still had your stacked damage and your stacked health, where at this stage we don't have that. So I'm going to go through the teleporter. Let's see, this guy is that Soul's thing. This guy steals my items, yes. Oh wow. Okay. Interesting. But yeah, let's go to stage 10 and we'll head over to Mithrix. Yo, geez, that is crazy. So now getting a lot of overloaded enemies. And I don't know if my game likes this that much, but a lot of overloaded enemies, a lot of enemies that are spawning. So this is kind of what you can expect the further down you go down the line and how many stages you go through. Because even though the level stays the same, the types of enemies that are spawning gets increasingly more difficult. Just don't know where that Empyrean Soul's Scorcher is. Is it this guy? Yeah, basically one-shotted him with my alternate ability. I wonder if my items, if they get stolen, if I actually lose Dio. That would be incredibly sad. Overloading Solus control unit. Where is the last guy? Is it this one that's stuck here? Seems like it's him. There we go. That was quite easy. Right, the teleporter's done. We can go ahead and go and fight Mithrix. That tougher time sound is very funny. A squeaking bear. Righto, so now we are on the large stage, so the moon of whatever, I couldn't really read that. So we're on the large stage, so there's a few objectives that we need to complete in order to unlock the jump pads that will take us up to Mithrix. So gonna spare you the boring part of running to those little areas, and as we get to the areas we'll show the fights, and we'll get to Mithrix then after that. Cool, we are at the first charging pillar. Not really sure what this pillar does. Just basically, some of them will do certain things, some of them will push you away. I don't think this one really has anything specific that it's doing. It just needs to charge it up within the little area that I'm in. It seems like the area is getting smaller as time goes by. So I think you need to charge 3 or 4 of them for you to go to the next stage. But, yeah, I mean, these guys are not posing any risk to me whatsoever. As soon as they attack me, I do some spike damage back to them. So yeah, nothing really too straight. So you'll see that there's 2 pillars there, and I believe 2 around there. So I'm not really exactly too sure how many I need to get. Probably not the ideal that I've fallen down here, but it should take me closer to the pillars. There we go. So the red one will steal your health, that I know. So, but I think from a health-wise, we don't really have to stress about anything. Health isn't really that big of a factor. And then there's another one that kind of pushes you away that does these pulses. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just not something that we really need to worry too much about. Yeah, and it's done. As quickly as that. Because we have so much health, I don't know if it scales with how many health you have. Seems like it has to. I mean, it's charging up so quickly. Right, so you just need to charge up 1 more. And then we can head to Mithrix. So I'm gonna get to the other one there to the right side. You can see it there. And then we'll head up to finally get to the end of this. Alright, so we are at the last little shrine, and this is the one that pushes you away. So it's sometimes a little bit difficult to keep within the zone because it will always push you away no matter where you are. And because of the enemies that's here, they do explode and leave this little burning area on the ground. But I have so many tougher time stacks and shielding, it's basically impossible for me to die. So as you can see, it's basically blocking almost everything. So I'm very thankful I focus so much on that particular item. Alright, let's see where the jump pads are. I do see the jump pads, they are there on the... These guys are just a nuisance. So there's one over there. So I think we can... And there's one over there as well. Let's go to that one and we'll jump over there, and that should take us right up to Mithrix. So we've arrived at the jump pad. So it will take us up to Mithrix, and we'll finally defeat him. There we go. Can't remember if there will be 2 of them. Yeah, there will be. We'll just slam dunk him. And that's basically it for his first wave. Oh, that was quite easy to do. And now it's going to be the difficult part to try and get to all of these guys. At least I do have the ATG missile that should take care of the ones that are a little bit further, and if they do attack me, my razor wire will do the damage. This is one guy that's left, I think. Oh no, there's another one. Oh, I was hoping that was the last one. Come on now. Yeah, because I didn't want to get any of the area of effect items like your ceremonial daggers and those kind of things, because it kind of makes it a bit boring at some point, because then you're so strong you just stand in one place and you don't really have to interact with the game or the enemies a single bit, which I didn't really want. There's one guy left. Where is he? I wonder if... does the health actually get more? No. At least not. Come here. Don't know why he's hiding there. I know I'm strong, but you don't have to be afraid. There we go. Now let's get to Matrix. And we'll slam dunk him as quickly as we see him. Just... there we go. Ah, he is gonna take all of my items. But what I'm gonna do is, as soon as he loses his shield... Damn. Okay. I wasn't expecting to die that quickly. I honestly thought, oh, but he took all of my DOs, that's why. Oh, that was bad for me. But yeah, I think that was great fun. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate everyone who supported me in the last bit. And yeah, if you like my type of content and you would like to see more Risk of Rain videos, please feel free to give me a like and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.